Hello friends, in today's video I will be talking about your CELPIP Speaking Task 2. That is personal experience. I have taken one particular topic and I'll be sharing the sample answer of it. So the topic is talk about a skill that you were scared to do initially but later you did it nicely. Scared means you were afraid. So you didn't want to do it at the very first time because you were afraid, but later on you gathered some courage and you learned it nicely. It can be any skill such as cooking, swimming, driving. What skill was it? Why were you scared and how did you learn it? So, a few things that you have to keep in mind in task 2 is the very first is you must speak in past tense. Past tense is like you should use second form of the verb and then was or were where it is needed. And then make sure you must cover all the components of the question. So here in the question they are talking about three questions, three things. First, what skill was it? Why were you scared and how did you learn it? So it is mandatory for you to cover all the three things. Now, if you want to try this topic first, you can pause the video here and you can try speaking. But otherwise, if you want to see the sample answer first, I'll share the sample answer. Just try to prepare it and then you can try speaking. Record your answers, listen so that you can improve. Okay, so here is the answer. One skill that I was initially afraid to learn but ended up mastering was driving. Okay, so initially, like at the very first place, I was afraid, I was scared, but then I learned it nicely. At first, the thought of being in control of a car made me quite anxious or made me quite apprehensive. Apprehensive and anxious means the same, nervous. I was worried or I was concerned about making mistakes, especially with other vehicles around, and the idea of parking in tight spots seemed impossible. Instead of impossible, you can say next to impossible. During my early driving lessons, my hands would get sweaty. My heart would pound whenever I approached a busy intersection or had to change lanes. So all these description explained that why you were scared of it. Thankfully, my driving instructor, Mr. John Smith, was very supportive and encouraged me to keep practicing. Over time, I became more familiar with the car and more comfortable on the road. The real boost in my confidence came when I managed to drive on a crowded motorway without any assistance. It means like I was all alone, I was driving by myself, and I successfully did it. That achievement felt like a major milestone for me. Now I drive regularly and even find it enjoyable. It's hard to believe that something that once scared me so much has now become a part of my daily routine. Pushing past my initial fear was definitely worth it, as driving is an essential or prerequisite skill that gives me a sense of independence and freedom. Okay, so this topic was about driving. So if you want, you can prepare the same topic. You can start the timer, you record yourself, listen again. So this way you can practice nicely. I hope this topic will help you. Keep learning with me. All the best.